Oh my lord.
Hello!
It is the trash can.
Hey,
What's going on, Topsy Bot?
not a whole lot. Just hanging out here on the old gaming couch.
You gonna try Cuphead yet?
No, unfortunately, I haven't.
Oh, well, you see, you kind of get along with that. I mean, you both got kind of empty heads, or you got things you can put inside your head, I guess.
Ouch! So salty. It's hard to get games in the apocalypse.
This is true. This is very true. I think the only thing I saw around were a couple scrambled copies of whatever Activision could scrape up before the dead had risen.
Yeah, we can't see your webcam.
No?
No.
How about now?
Hey! Oh, there you are. Oh, that's a lovely hat.
Oh, I do try it though.
I love that movie.
You do? Okay.
I'm just glad they never made a remake. So you're calling from Wisconsin?
Yes, I am.
Let me check my notes here. Okay, Wisconsin. It says you've got great chess.
Yep, chess is one of our anecdotes, as it were. We wear it sometimes.
Oh, okay. Chess heads.
Chess heads, yes.
That's very nice.
And sometimes we put our beer goggles on, and there are times that we shoot bucks, and we also watch them on basketball courts too.
Oh, that's interesting. Wisconsin sounds like a magical place.
Yeah, it's about as Disneyland as you can get in a trailer park.
So let's see. We got a lot of people in Wisconsin. The Wink family, they were from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes, they are. They make some excellent cookies too, from what I understand.
Oh yes. That's what Rick said, at least. I'm trying to read my notes here, but it looks like they were written by a toddler.
Well, it may have been Rick, but you know.
Or a doctor.
Or a doctor.
Dr. Toddler. I don't know.
Dr. Radical. I mean, he's like, with all the caffeine that he's on, I mean, you can't comprehend anything.
So you're going to film school?
I am going to film school. I'm going to University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I'm part of their Peck School of the Arts, and this will be my second year as a transfer student, and I'm still technically a junior, but I'm going through the motions. This year I'm currently under their what is it called? It's basically their preparation review for me to transfer to the higher levels of the film school itself. So I'm getting there. These two projects that I'm working on are going to be submitted to an academic panel, and that's going to be my stepping stone to decide whether or not I proceed, or if I have to do those projects again because they feel I'm not at the task yet.
Oh, what's your main area of interest?
Right now, it's more so editing, but I'm still kind of, I feel that if I get more and more chiseled away, because most of these courses are just fine-tuning away of what you really want to get into, and editing's kind of the big one, because I've been working with audio and video for some time now, just like perfecting the film down to its core aspects. But the other ones I'm still looking into are mostly animation, and I don't know, I thought about lighting a little bit more too, because I understand how important it is too, because every little piece is important to film. Like, if you leave out one aspect, like I always say, one of my colleagues asked me, like, there are like films that you could do with and if they didn't have the proper music cue or anything like that, it would just be completely off, or it would just be completely non-emotional, or not the emotion that you intended, or anything like that.
Yeah, most of the movies we watch leave out the good aspect.
Yeah, I feel for you guys. I mean, it's not fair to say, but whatever. Dr. B's little library there of some of the, I don't know what his taste was in. My God,
the absolute worst. I hope none of your movies ever end up here at Sinisaro.
Oh, there's a distinct possibility. I mean, student films are always that way, if you think about it. Like, my first film was me chasing a guy with a camera, and then eventually I got to him and pitch black. Like, that was it.
So it was like the Blair Witch Project.
But better, maybe.
But better.
I don't know.
So what are some of your favorite movies?
Well, we got that one, and it's really unusual for me with the movies. Like, I kind of come and go with them. Like, Ghostbusters has always been my favorite because I call it it's my patient zero of film, because it's what got me into film. Maybe it honestly is my favorite film of all time. Like,
okay.
Like, there's no other way I can put up on it. Like, it's one of those films that you look at and it's like, it's timeless, and it's set in the 80s, and it's kind of one of those, like, it's an entendre on its own. Like, you can watch it to this day and not be worried that it's not a period piece of the current day or anything like that. And I mean, you can see just 4 guys strapping on a proton pack and catching ghosts, and it's a relic of the 80s, and it's perfect that way.
I agree.
And I'm gonna probably end up dressing up as one for Halloween.
All right. You'll have to send us a picture of that.
I will definitely do my best, because I've got one of the replica proton packs that was being shopped around by Spirit Halloween, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't afford the $600 duplicate or deluxe replica cinema-made kit that they're pushing around on the fan sites. So I'm just like, $70 proton pack replica is better.
If I'm going to spend $600 on a proton pack, it better at least be able to drive me to work.
Or, yeah. Or at least catch something. I don't know. Maybe dispense a beer in the back. Or do something for me.
Yeah, I would pay more for something like that.
And then again, beer dispensing, well, I mean, it would probably be heavily accepted here.
Yeah? Would you want it to dispense PBR?
Only on occasion. I only drink PBR every once in a while. I mean, and honestly, like the Milwaukee beers, like, nothing against them. It's just like them, or even like Bud Lights or anything. Those are my palate cleansers for microbrews. Because one of the big ones in Wisconsin is Spotted Cow, which your buddy Benjamin Pickles likes a lot. And oh, how's he doing?
Oh, he's good. He's indisposed at the moment, but I might let him out of his cage.
Yeah, you gotta give him a little walk-in room now and then. I mean,
yeah, you know, every couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks, maybe for about 2 minutes. Like, just keep the variant short.
Whoa,
I mean,
2 minutes. Nobody needs that much
30
time.
seconds.
We got a GIMP costume for him for Halloween.
Oh, does it look like a pickle?
Yeah, it's green.
Okay, well, you got me there. So you just gotta,
green
make
vinyl.
sure he's covered. Just gotta cover him in brine, and just send him on his merry way.
Yeah, it's about 2 sizes too small, but I think we can get him into it. It's very bumpy too.
You got a good shot. I mean, you just lube it with the pickle brine, I guess.
Right, that's a great idea. I'm sure he'll love it.
Make sure he just has that pickle neck lift too. You gotta have the pickle neck lift, otherwise it's just completely compromised.
I agree. New head doesn't have a neck lift. Can't see. Pickle. Pickle neck lift.
Pickle neck lift.
You guys bring a lot of joy to me when it comes to your clever writing, your dedication, even for a small town production or a very limited production. Like, you guys kind of give me a little bit of inspiration for my own future endeavors, because I'm just working on my own most of the time with doing my own film projects. But to see what you and the rest of the Agony Wolf Media team can do, it's pretty inspiring stuff. And it does go back to where you see all these other old shows and other shows that may not want to be talked about right now, where they started, and I saw that immediately with you guys. It really did. Like, I didn't see a replication of something else. I saw someone taking inspiration from that and making it their own thing, and it's great stuff. I really I've never been pressured to like your guys' stuff. I've taken it as what it is and appreciate it for what it is. It's really fun stuff. It's great writing, like, and great chemistry. Like, the way you guys rib off of each other is clearly authentic. Like, I'm not thinking that it's a BS report that's written on a script most of the time.
Well, I appreciate it. We all appreciate it here. Being such an outspoken supporter, it's infectious.
If I can't put myself into a cheerleader costume, I might as well do it on the Facebook boards.
Oh, God. Hey, I want to thank you, too, for the pop vinyls. I love Proto Man the best. He's got such a good color scheme.
He does. I'm like, the first thing I thought, I'm like, oh, this is the topsiest contraption that you would find in the Mega Man universe, so why not Proto Man?
It's gorgeous.
Do you go to bed at night with it?
No, maybe, yeah.
Topsy, thank you.
Calling me out here.
I'm not calling you out. I'm not judging.
Okay.
Although, what Rick does with that Pip-Boy in his sleep, I'll never understand.
Me either. God, I wish I could unsee that.
How do you turn the knob that far?
I don't want to think about it too hard.
I'm done with that. I mean, I'd see you being the robotic overlord that we all deserve.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Because it's going to happen tomorrow, isn't it?
Right, just accept it.
Okay. I mean, you pretty much have to at this point.
Everyone has to at some point.
Will there be cable television?
Perhaps. I'll have to look into that. These are all minor details like food and shelter, and we'll get to that later.
Silent Green's always a good option. I mean, just don't tell them about that other thing, but, you know.
That was my first choice. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks this. Rick disagrees.
Well, come on. I mean, it's a renewable source of food.
Right.
Like, it never runs out.
He doesn't.
PBR for some reason.
Yeah. He doesn't want to nourish other people with himself. And I don't understand. It's so selfish.
That is incredibly selfish.
Right.
I don't understand it.
We're trying to build a better world here.
Yeah. I mean, Silent Green, you can power houses if you burn it properly, I guess. It could be food, and it can be people, too, if you really want to put your mind to it. Wink, wink.
So, you share a lot of cat videos?
I do.
That's good. We like cat videos here.
I actually have a cat. She's in the back, snoozing right now.
Oh, I see. I feel like robots and cats could team up and rule the world.
Well, you got Mecha Cat too, which could be one of the fiercest. And the only problem with that is that would be one thing that could usurp a robotic overlord.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's something you gotta keep locked down, because if you let a cat mesh into a robot,
gotta have a contingency plan. You're right. If
Jurassic Park can have a licensing contingency, you gotta have a feline contingency.
Yeah, you never know when they're gonna turn on you. You could just be reaching out to pet them, and bam, they're biting your hand.
Either that, or they find a way to completely comprise human beings to be hybrid catnip beings.
Yep, or the crap in your shoe. So I wanted to congratulate you on being on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Well, thank you. I'm right now. I'm kind of on partial hiatus, where I'm just, one being that the schoolwork, and as you can see, my room is completely disarray right now because I've been doing nothing but studying for midterms this coming week.
It looks pristine compared to Rick's.
But yeah, Midnight's Edge, I started doing. I originally started on their Film Buff channel, which was a separate channel, and then they merged, became Midnight's Edge After Dark. And I started doing trailer breakdowns. And at first, I started doing trailer breakdowns where I would be breaking down trailers while having a mental breakdown in the process of covering them. And I started with Jumanji or Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, which is the upcoming sequel that's coming out, or I guess has come out in your time. And the other one was the Emoji Movie, and oh dear God.
Never heard of her.
Never do. That one put me on almost a hiatus for 2 months after doing it. My colleague Tom was just like, oh my God, it really destroyed you, because I wouldn't talk for 3 weeks after doing it.
Oh, the idea of an Emoji Movie, that sounds insidious.
You know, it's an 88-minute movie about goddamn emojis. and product placement, too, because that's exactly what you need in a movie, is just nonstop product placement.
So Midnight's Edge it's so mysterious. Who runs it? One overlord or multiple people?
It's hosted mostly by one person, but it's contributed by many, is the best way to put it. Andre, his last name is I'm gonna botch it, Einharyar, or he's in the Scandinavian Isles.
Aha.
I'm botching that name completely, and I apologize if he sees this. But he oversees all of us, and we do topics of discussion. Tom Connors and Rob Gallo are two of my friends. Rob does his Robot Shlomo YouTube page, where he does a lot of cinema talk and television talk. He's not too happy with Star Trek Discovery right now, but in most cases, I don't see many people that are happy with it. But anyone to each their own. But me, I'm the resident Ghostbuster goings-on guy, because they're doing a lot of new things going on with that. And Andre liked a lot what I had to say, like, about other films as well. He's like, well, you're a film student, and it's a kind of a budding perspective too, that you're not just a rager that's going on the internet commenting these things. You put a lot of time and effort into your responses, and it's kind of, he put it like, I have like a fresh mind, and it's malleable still with what I have to learn and what I have learned.
An informed perspective.
Yeah, that's the one.
Compared to the average internet troll who just doesn't necessarily know what they're mad about, but they just hate things.
The anonymity of the internet. It's a wonderful thing until you actually get discovered by it. But like, one of the things, like, because I actually wrote a thesis on the Ghostbusters film, and I wrote it on basically nothing. It was basically a Seinfeld sketch. It was great, and it was a good 15 pages on, like, all the things that were wrong with it and why they were wrong, why it was wrong. Like, it wasn't like, I'm not pushing it. I don't push anybody's perspectives to the ground or opinions to the ground, but it's like, this is why I believe it's wrong. It's not like I hate it because of how it was cast or anything like that. I hated it mostly like the story, or like how the chemistry wasn't flowing, and I would put that into dictation, and how it could have been made better with the direction it was going. And it's painful to see that, because as a film student, you're just like, this is where I'm heading, or this is where I aspire to head. And it's not just one movie too. Like, you have the Transformer films, the Fast and Furious films, that I think I liked how they were starting with the rebrand, and then they just went downhill after Paul Walker's passing, and I'm just like, it should have just ended there. And who knows what this new Resident Evil film even. I'm curious to see what they're doing with that.
Well, we want to thank you as well for all the Patreon support.
Always,
That's
guys.
Huge.
I mean, like, I look at it, and it's, for me, it's maybe, I don't know, a video game I don't purchase, because when I'm in college, I don't purchase as many video games. Or when I do, it's an ultimate save up over the summer. But whatever, what I give you guys is plenty enough for me to be satisfied with what you guys do. And if I could get more, I would. Because it's hard enough to hold a job when you're constantly filming every weekend. But if it's not that, I'm always promoting the wish list every now and then, which I see you guys have been doing extremely well on. And as soon as I'll check in every week. I made it a weekly habit to check in, and when it started out and we started promoting it, and I convinced Rick to just make it public. Just make it public and just share it. And to see what you guys have been getting as a result of that, from hard drives to I think you guys got some desk chairs and some camera equipment too. It's just remarkable what some of these Coggers are willing to give to you guys.
Yeah,
and
a new package shows up every week,
and that's remarkable. And that's a sign that you guys are doing something right too. I mean, you guys don't have to be apologetic about anything. Because you're putting time and effort. It's not like you're hoarding this and just taking it all for granted. You guys make sure it's addressed. And I mean, the thing that you guys did recently with the DVD distribution, because to thank these fans, that's incredible. That's more than enough for a thank you. And I'm happy to be a part of this fan base. It's a remarkable fan base. It's the one thing I like about being a Misty or a Riff Tracks fan or a Cinematic Titanic fan is that it seems to be in the riffing blood that there's this homely family thing where we got each other's backs no matter what the strain is.
Yeah, I think there's an understanding that it's not super mainstream or anything or anywhere close. You're
gonna make me put on my thick glasses. I hear that. My thick frame glasses. This is too mainstream. Although that would be interesting to see an extremely mainstream hipster. Hipster Rick does a full Let's Play. Oh God,
that would be something.
He's got a Nintendo Switch controller in one hand and a PBR 16-ounce silo he's got one in his hand. He's like, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, this Nintendo Switch is so gauche right now. And just going with.
He's got a knitted cap turned into one of those beer can holding caps.
Oh God. He half knows that not even that far away from me. I mean, that's the one excuse about being in Wisconsin is that PBR has always been made here. Just to get back onto that, because I kind of shoved that away.
So it was cool in Wisconsin before it was cool everywhere else.
Yes, and as soon as I started seeing PBR pants, I mean, if you look at me, I purposely wore my Drink Wisconsinably PBR shirt.
Oh, hello shirt.
And someone this was back when I was living near the Twin Cities in rural Menominee, Wisconsin, where my first attendance at a University of Wisconsin Stout was. And I was sitting there drinking a PBR, turned 21, and I was getting a feel of what the beers were. And then out of nowhere, some guy comes up to me, he's like, oh my God, you must be just such a hipster. And I'm like, it's made in Wisconsin. Shut up. And also, I'm not wearing, the first time I saw a guy wearing PBR pants, I'm like, oh, do you drink it? I'm like, no. He's like, no. I'm like, wait, then why do you have it? It looks, I mean, it's just one of those things, I'm like, I just walked away, knowing I just met my first hipster.
One of those things I'm obligated to do.
Yeah, I gotta do it to represent the brand, don't you know? And I'm like, yeah, you gotta represent something, I'm sure. Oh.
How tall were the handlebars on his mustache?
I would say it was roughly 2.
Inches?
2 inches.
Oh my God, he had ape hangers.
He had ape hangers and the weirdest patch of soul you would ever see.
A soulless patch. Stare into the void of his lip.
And again, hipsters in Wisconsin, they're an interesting breed. They're kind of the best way to put it is they're kind of what you would imagine would be in a mountain man hunter, like, or deer camp, and mixed with whatever you can find on Milwaukee's east side, which is the arts and entertainment district here. And
lumberjacks who have never swung an axe.
Yes, that is exactly what it is.